Okay, so this video is about what is it like to work as an English teacher in Ubon Ratchathani. Ubon Ratchathani is the easternmost province. As you go to Bangkok and you take the train line, if you just keep going east, you'll come upon, you'll hit Sisaket first, and then Ubon Ratchathani will be next stop and last stop. Ubon is a huge province, and it's mostly flat. There's some small hills and little rocks and things like little valleys over by Chongmek, which is the border with Laos, and way over that way. And there's what is it called, Patem? There's some national park there where they have some scrawlings on the walls, cave drawings and things like that. You might have seen some of them on funny things they sell in bookstores and stuff. Anyway, these funny figures, these people. Anyway, so I stayed there for just over a year. Initially, I went to Ubon to go to Wat Pa Nanachat and Wat Nong Pat Pong. Those are two forest temples by Ajahn Chah. And I meditated in the States, and then I wanted to ask the monks a lot of questions, so I went and visited them. These are Western monks living in this temple. They run the temple. The Wat Pa Nanachat temple is Western monks, and it was interesting to talk to them. Anyway, so after that, I went into Ubon town, and I thought, I'll just get a job teaching, I guess, just for a while, see what it's like. Never taught before, English or anything else, soccer, but I just thought I'd try it. Started going into different schools, and immediately, first school I found the job, they offered me one anyway. And so I took it. I was teaching Anabon level, that's young kids, P1, P2. P1, P2, I think it was at first. There was a guy there that probably was a child molester. Probably. A good chance of it. And I had a huge problem with him and also the administration. So I insisted that the guy leave. They weren't going to fire him. And so I left there and I went to a different school. There I worked with kids P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6. And that was a little crazy. It was also in Ubon. But I got to meet, there was only one teacher at the first school, this idiot. And then at the second school, there were about 5 of us, maybe 6. A guy from Australia, 2 girls from Germany, a guy from USA. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. The guy that runs the program was from the UK. And myself. It might have been somebody else. They obviously didn't make an impression. But I think there might have been somebody else, and it's not coming to mind. Anyway, well, there were some Thai teachers as well, right there in the program. So I worked there for a year. So I got to really see a lot of Ubon, right? It's a very Thai town. It's not for foreigners, really. It's just a Thai town. But they absolutely love foreigners out there. So you'll get, everybody's gawking at you, pointing. Even the adults are like, Falang, Falang, They're like grabbing each other to point and show them who you are. Like you're coming down the street or something. It was there that I first rode a motorbike in Thailand. Oh, no, it wasn't. I was Phuket. Anyway, I was still riding a motorbike in Ubon. It's a little safer because there's just more people. There's more, the roads are bigger, is what I mean to say. There's a lot of people now. A lot of people have moved there. They recently got a Central World Mall. And so a lot of people have moved there, but a lot of people go there on the weekends from the outside, right? They come to the mall on the weekend for something to do now. There's something to do in Ubon. There's a number of hotels now all over Thailand. Hotels have blown up. Everybody's opening their own hotel with this Airbnb thing. You can open your house to having people stay and whatever. There's lots of places to stay now. There used to not be. There used to be just the typical, the old hotels that used to be there during the war, when both the Americans and I think the Brits also were, at least the Americans. But I think there were some foreign people here as well. I don't know why. But yeah, they were using the airbase in Ubon. So I think it was spelled Ubol, Ubol back then. But you can find some old pictures on in Google. If you do image search for Ubol airfield or something like that. So there's still a lot of people. There's a lot of old people that remember when the soldiers were there, and they liked it because they got money, right? Whatever business they had benefited from it, whether they were fixing motorbikes or whatever. I talked to an old guy. He had to be like 85. He was fixing motorbikes for the GIs, when they were there, and he lived right beside the airport, which was the airfield. And yeah, he had stories to tell me about it. But when I first saw him, he grabbed my arm, I guess I've had a number of people do that in Ubon. They grab your arm and smile, I was told that they're trying to get luck from you. I was told that they're trying to relive the glory days, back when Americans were there, I guess, because Americans were there for a while and then disappeared, right? The airfield was defunct, and they moved on. They moved back to the States or whatever after the war, the Vietnam War. So Ubon has history to it. It's a huge place. The city is not huge. The city consists of one street, Chiang Khun. Chiang Ku, it's spelled on some maps. It's a map. It's a map. It's a street that runs like from the river, the Mun River, all the way up past Big C and connects with the highways and stuff up there. It goes for a few kilometers, maybe 3 kilometers, I'm guessing. All the businesses really are on that main road, but there are other parallel roads where you can find hospitals, many hotels, lots of places to eat. I found the food in Ubon was amazing. It was very, very good. Maybe that's because I started in Phuket, and then a lot of girls from Ubon go to Phuket, right? And they have restaurants or whatever. But so I liked the food in Phuket, but then when I came to Ubon, I thought, it's even better, or there's more variety for sure. So I got to eat Isan food, Isan, Isaan or Isarn or Esarn or Esan or however you want to spell it. So like Isan is the whole northeast area of Thailand. And it's the area of agriculture and simple people, simple life, simple living. People not that focused on money, to an excess. There aren't people, you'll see every now and then, like people with a Lamborghini or something, but it's really not that kind of place. It's more like if you do have money, you'll buy like a Mercedes, like a General Mercedes or something like that. A few BMWs up there, but most everybody has a truck. That's one place where when I first got there, I said, holy crap, it's like 80% of the people had a truck. A lot of people had motorbikes back then. I think more people will have cars by now. I was up there not too long ago, and still plenty of trucks, and I thought less motorbikes, but that's just a guess as well. Anyway, so there's great places to eat. It's very cheap to eat, similar to Ang Thong province where I just was, north of Bangkok. Any of these agricultural areas, will be cheap to eat at because the food is plentiful. It doesn't have to travel far. It just goes to the restaurant. And lots of people eat outside. Lots of people eat at the restaurants. And I don't know. I liked it. I liked the food. Love the people. The people were just amazing. That's where I met my wife. Oh, my daughter's coming in to see me. Hi. Hello. Come here. You can be on the camera. Come here. Come here, down here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oops! But you never saw Ubon Ratchathani, did you? You never did, huh? Sleepy. Okay, come on, sleepy baby. Okay, good for mama. That's my daughter, my youngest daughter. Yeah, so I liked it. The people were amazing. My wife is, I think one of a kind. She's part of the group of people that grew up there, but she's even more special. These people are like almost enlightened already or something. They live in the moment. They live in the present moment. As you can see in Thailand all over, but especially in the Northeast, Buddhism is more a part of their lives. The ideas of Buddhism is more a part of their lives, and just a good place to be. Now, if you're looking, like if you're single, if you're young, and you're looking for nightlife or something like that, they have something that resembles nightlife. There used to be this place called The Rock. It was a huge entertainment venue. It's in the bottom of a hotel called the Nevada, which is like the state of Nevada, but they pronounce it Nevada. And that may still, I'm sure that's there in some way. May not be the same name or anything like that. Probably in the same place. It looks like that place wasn't going away anytime soon. They have a huge pool in that hotel as well. Massive pool. You can just go and pay 20 baht or something. Don't know what it is now. Maybe it's 30 baht. But so that's good. And they had some shopping in there. There are many students in Ubon. So it's one of the biggest provinces, if not the biggest province in Thailand. So a lot of people come into the Emperor Muang, the center of the city, to go to school there, or they send their kids there. They just send them. They stay with other people or something. I mean, they literally just send them. So there's so many students. So you can easily teach at your house or whatever. It's easy to do that. You can put up signs all over the city if you want. Plastic signs with a permanent marker. Stick them in telephone poles, tape them on stuff. Everybody does it or did it. I'm sure you can still do it now if you wanted to. You could probably find more online, right? You can find them on Facebook or whatever. So there is some nightlife. There's that place. There's a place that plays live music. Swing cafe or swing bar or something. There's some bars for younger people that you'll feel weird in, even if you're a younger American or whatever. You'll feel weird because it's just all Thais. I mean, it might be one other foreigner in there with you, maybe, if you bring one. So teachers tended to stay together because, you got to hang out with the teachers that you work with, and maybe even some teachers from other schools or teachers that you might know from online, from blogs or whatever. There's a couple guys up there I met like that. But it's kind of a tight-knit group, because you're the only ones there and you like the same kind of things, same music, same drinks, same food, same everything, right? There's a lot of retired American and everything else, but a lot of retired foreigners up there because they married Thai girls and then they moved back to the village, right? And so the foreigners are spread out all over Ubon. You won't see too many in the city. I mean, you might see 5 foreigners a day or so, 10 maybe now. There's probably a lot more now, I would think. As the city grew up, as the city got Central World and everything else, all the other businesses that started with it, more foreigners are there for sure, but way more Thais for sure too. It's a safe place as long as you're in daylight. You're in the main city. You're not, and daylight doesn't really matter. But at nighttime, you shouldn't be on the roads. There's been stories of people getting their arms hacked with like sword type things, to get your purse or to crash your motorbike so that they can steal whatever you have. That has happened a number of times. I think it was an Australian guy lost his arm, or very nearly lost his arm, as it was almost severed as someone hit it from another motorbike as they flew by and then robbed him. But those things, they happen anywhere in the world, right? But if you are riding your motorbike after 9 p.m. on a country road or something, that's not the right place to be. It doesn't matter how you're built. Doesn't matter at all. Thais fight in multiple numbers, right? It's never one guy and one guy. So everybody has to be careful. Thai girls, I think it's basically safe, during daylight hours or whatever. At nighttime, there was something about a girl said she was raped. Girl from Scotland, I think it was. This was years ago. Said she was raped, but it turns out she wasn't. I mean, I don't know why people do this all the time, but there's a lot of false reports, unless they just recant and just don't want to go through the court cases or whatever. But just be aware. I mean, Thai guys rape as much as maybe more than other countries. I mean, it's a problem. Okay, like. What else could I say? Housing up there was difficult to find, but you could find it because everybody wanted to have a foreigner live in their house or one of their extra houses. Probably now there's so many new buildings, new townhouses, new everything, that it's probably fairly easy just to find a place in 1 or 2 days if you go there. It's easy to get jobs there because still not that many people want to move there. For the lack of nightlife, for the lack of foreign resources, there will be a few, probably 5 or so foreign food establishments in the city area that you can go to. I remember there was an Indian place. There was this Spago's pizza place. This guy is from Italy. It's best pizza that I've had in Thailand. It's amazing pizza. He's still there, but I think he changed his name to Sapporo or something, Sapporo. He's up, and he's not up Chiang Khun Road. He's up a parallel road or an offshoot of that road. Chiang Khun goes this way, and I think it splits off. He's on a different road that goes up north by the big sea and stuff. You can definitely find it if you look on maps.google. Maybe I'll even look up the URL for you because I loved it so much. The pizza was incredible. Anything he made with sauce was incredible. It was so good. Anyway, he's become a friend over the years. And nice guy to talk to too. If he comes over and to your table, feel free. I mean, he's a good talker as well. He's had a very interesting life. Anyway, there's probably going to be at least 5 places you can eat foreign food. There's Central World, as I said. Probably more people speak English now than when I was there, for sure. It was quite tough. I spoke very little Thai when I first got there, right? That started my process of learning Thai. I had 1,500 note cards at one point, and I knew about 2,000 words of Thai. But I used to sit with a girl in a park, so we would be in some place in the open so nobody would think anything's going on. And then she would teach me, I'd make her go over and over the pronunciation for each word, and I'd write it phonetically so I could try to figure it out. They really use the tones in the language in the Northeast. Here in Krabi, almost not at all. I don't hardly hear the tone at all. Usually I don't hear a tone. I don't hear rising tone, falling tone, high tone. I don't hear anything like that. So I can speak Thai here much better than in Ubon, where nobody understands a word I'm saying because I'm not using tones anymore. I've forgotten what they are even. So it's difficult to learn Thai up there. What else could I tell you? Weather is average probably. It gets hot. The summers are super hot as always. The March, April, May time frame, super hot. 38, 40 degrees, no rain for weeks and weeks and weeks at a time. It feels very dry. It's kind of weird. It's kind of a mental thing for you to get over it. But that's pretty much anywhere. Here in Krabi, we had 110 or 120 days without rain one time during that time. And I thought all the snakes would die. I think we saw them fall off quite a bit, but not all of them died. But Yeah, so the weather is basically the same. It's hot usually. Starting June, July, we start to have the mini clouds because it rains almost every day. The rains just pass through pretty quick usually, 20 minutes, half hour, dump a bunch of rain, and then it cools off for a little bit. It clouds up the sky so it doesn't have the direct sun hitting you anymore. So that's nice. Sometimes the nights get cooler. It does get quite a bit cooler up there about November, December, January, maybe February. Yeah, those are some cool months. The air's cool. You can open the windows at night, keep a screen in there, keep the bars on the windows or whatever, so nobody's climbing through your windows, because it happens, especially females living alone. Just keep your place secure for sure. Motorbike rental, you could probably find somebody that will rent you a motorbike. It'll be one of their own, but they'll just say, oh yeah, you can rent, so they can make some money from it, right? That's how I did it for a while. There's nothing really to see around there, but you can easily take the train. The train goes to Bangkok. Train goes to Nakhon Ratchasima. There's an airport. I used to fly from Bangkok. And you can go to Chiang Mai for the border run. It's quick. It's 100 kilometers away. I used to just ride the motorbike almost all the time. I had a friend that took me a couple times in the car. But so they have a duty-free shop over there. You can buy alcohol cheap. Don't bring too much over the border. That's one of my other videos. I thought it was a scam. It wasn't. It was real. They were gonna fine us. We almost got put in jail and everything. Maybe I'll leave that link on one of these last little previews, and you can click that to go see that story. It's pretty wild. Okay, I think that's it. It's a nice place. Don't go for the nightlife. Don't go if you need to have something to do all the time. It's you'll be bored even with Central there. You'll be bored even if you know people there. Everybody is. People don't usually stay too long, but if you do stay long, like there's some people I knew that were there 8-9 years already. They didn't seem like they were leaving anytime soon. It's just a nice life. Like if you fit the lifestyle, right? It's a great place to just hang out, teach, probably save some money. If you're making $35,000, you probably won't be making more than that. I just saw recently 30 to 32,000. I think they were offering. That's what they were offering 17 years ago. Anyway, you might even be able to save some money with that. 10,000 a month or something would be reasonable. So you stay there 9 years at 10,000 a month. That's pretty good, right? It's $1 million baht. Anyway, hope that helps somebody thinking about moving to Ubon Ratchathani. Sisaket is basically the same, except smaller. Udon Thani, basically the same. Udon has a lot of people, a lot more foreigners, a lot more restaurants for foreign food. But basically the same, not even as big as Ubon. Khon Kaen, huge. I don't know enough about it to do a whole video about it, so I'll just tell you real quickly. Like Khon Kaen is a huge city, has everything you would ever want. It's just like Karat. It's just like Nakhon Ratchasima. It's just like Ubon, but even bigger. More Thais. It's a Thai place. More students for sure. Khon Kaen is like so many students. Khon Kaen and what's that other place up there? Khon Kaen and Mahasarakam. Oh, students everywhere, schools everywhere. Anyway, yeah, that's all I gotta say. Hope it helps somebody decide whether or not to go. I would say if you're looking for just a new experience and great people and you want to learn Thai, go ahead and go to Ubon for sure. If you're looking to mellow out for a bit, just go to Ubon. If not, if you need nightlife, if you need to have girls dancing naked on the bars and stuff, I think go to Phuket. All right, bye. Cheers.